G'day mate and welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, JD, and of course we have the wonderful Mr. Icarus with us today, and today we're continuing with our black box projects. We, last episode, managed to knock out just a tiny bit of yellow science, along with red and blue science. Each one of these builds has been doing quite happily. Click on number 3, 900 per minute. Structural Matrix is having a little bit of a hiccup. I think it's just because the last one is just coming online now. Actually, let's just fly up. Click on the top one. Yeah, it's still buffering. It's going to take it a minute to get fully up to speed, but you know, they're all doing 900 per minute. They're all doing 15 items per second. And I decided, look, you know what? We need to continue with this project. We need to get a couple of other things done. First thing we're going to be doing, really quick and easy one. Actually, let's do it all the way over here because it's super easy. We're going to do some magnetic coils. Main reason is because the hub that came in a couple of blueprints ago, a couple of videos ago, and the blueprints are available in my Discord. Link is always down in the description and probably on your screen right about now. It needs magnetic coils, and I don't think I'm actually making them anywhere in a vast quantity. So let's just build the quickest magnetic coil build ever. This is going to have copper, of course, and magnets. They're both required for magnetic coils. We're going to put in production. We're going to put just a little assembler here and a little assembler here, and we're going to have a little belt that comes back and goes straight to the side. Another one comes back. And then the side like that. You, sir, are going to do magnetic coils. We're going to have you do copper on that belt, magnets on that belt, magnets on that belt, and nope, not enough sorters. We're going to have copper magnets output. And we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remove that. Yeah, build's done. Well, sorry. I need a power pole in there, and a power pole in there, and a power pole in there, and remove that, and that, and then we can go. Oh, really? One of them didn't get power? One of them didn't get power. Can we... there we go. Alright, job's done. Alright, we want to put in that, and set that to max, set that to minimum, set that to maximum, set you to do remote, local, remote, just demanding everything. Bring in some warpers, just 100, please, 100, there we go. Local supply, remote demand. We've put in the ships, we just need to hook you up to power, which is right about there. And you are getting power. Yep, that's it. Build done. Okay, so that one there is going to do 120? No, 60 per second. 60 per second because we're bringing out... ooh. Yeah. So this build is going to do 60 per second. We're bringing out... 30 of the 60 of the magnets and 30 of the copper, so a total of 90 items per second to get 60 back in. I would like to have a bigger build, but there's just no way. There's no way to get more. At least to my builds are trying, as I've said over and over, trying to keep it to no more than 120 items per second out of the towers, and I just like dusted. Like there's no way to get more throughput, not without multiple towers, and I prefer to avoid multiple towers for a build that is so small and so tiny. But next build we're actually going to do is going to be processors. Now processors is a slightly different story. Processors, actually no, before I do processors, I do want to talk about yellow science. I did mention at the end of the last episode that I was pretty happy with this build, but it was very long and very thin. Very thin. And I wouldn't mind something a little bit more boxy. So, already uploaded is a slightly more boxy version. There. No, too close to the tower. There. Yes, it's a slightly more boxy version. And this basically works, well, it's the exact same build, just rearranged slightly. So rather than having 40 titanium crystal machines in almost a straight line, we've still got our six, what are they, kimberlite ore? Our six kimberlite ore, our 6 furnaces doing kimberlite ore into diamonds, which are all missing sorters. Hang on, let's go find... Nope, that one doesn't have sorters. That one has sorters. Have 6 of these, and then we have 3 lots of 11 doing titanium crystal, plus a row of 7 to give us the 40 that we need. And then we're bringing all those materials down. We're running them between 2 rows of labs, and then back up the outside. So as you can see, build is a... Well, let's go to north view. Build is a slightly different footprint. So what I've actually done is in Jetty's black box builds, which as I said before are available on Discord, you can either have the long version or the normal version that's a little bit more boxy, a little bit shorter. Personally, I think I'm a fan of the boxy build. Just fits in a little bit better. Actually, whilst I think about it at the same time, let's go up here and grab foundations, because I'm getting really short on foundation. All of that, and no, it's always the next tower. Let's grab those and grab those, because, as I was saying, the very next thing I want to work on is going to be, more foundations, is going to be processes. Now, as I said with the magnetic coil build, which is full already. Yeah, it didn't take long. The magnetic coil build, I'm limiting myself to no more than 120 items out of a tower per second. Same with the structural matrix, as with the energy matrix and the electromagnetic matrix. Always limiting myself to no more than 120 items out per second. Which brings us to a slight complication when it comes to processes, because I could make a processor build. Well, I could make a circuit board build, okay? We could make a very, very simple circuit board build. It would basically look identical to what we have here for the magnetic coils, except magnetic coils go into lots of different things. They go into buildings, they go into matrices, they go into a number of things. You know, they go into electric motors, which you're going to need a pile of, but we'll get to a build on electric motors later. Circuit boards, same thing. They go into lots and lots of different things. But one of the biggest places they go is straight into processors, whereas the magnetic coils go into lots of different things. Circuit boards, a slightly shorter choice on the areas it can go. So, rather than bringing in circuit boards, we could bring in iron and copper and make circuit boards, which is what I'm thinking about doing. On top of that, circuit boards also need the microcrystalline components. Okay, microcrystalline components only require silicon, because we're already bringing in copper. So I already have to bring in copper to make microcrystalline components. I have to bring in silicon. So we're literally just saying, do we want to bring in iron, or do we want to bring in circuit boards? At the end of the day, one iron becomes one circuit board. So there's not a lot of throughput difference between bringing in circuit boards or just bringing in iron and making it into a circuit board. So choosing to bring in iron and make them on site. It does mean there's one catch. So far, the previous builds, the previous black box builds I've been doing, they've been aiming to do 15 items per second. This time around, we're going to be doing less. We're going to be doing 12, and we're just because we've just hit that limit on the maximum amount of things that we can bring into a tower. If I was going to do 15 processes per second, I'd need 30 machines making processes. I would need 40 machines roughly making high purity silicon. I'd also need 10 machines making circuit boards, but I need 1 belt of iron, 1.5 belts worth of copper, so we're good so far, we're up to 2.5 belts. But then I need 2 belts of high purity silicon, which is 4.5 belts total. I really try to limit myself to no more than 4 belts. So, because of that, we're going to have just 12 items per second. Now, I want to sort of work this one backwards. So we're going to bring... We need to make 24 machines making processes. So let's go, actually, let's go out first. Let's bring out copper, bring out silicon, and then bring out silicon on this side. And the reason we've done that is because the very first thing we're going to start making is going to be the microcrystalline components there. We're going to start making these guys. Now, there's a funny ratio when it comes to processors. For every 4 of these guys, I can have another machine, another 3 machines making processors. And what we can actually do, and something that happens very, very often in Factorio, and we all know Dyson Sphere takes a lot of inspiration from Factorio, is you can have direct insertion. So, as you can hopefully see, I have sorters going from this machine into this machine, and this machine into this machine, and this machine into this machine, and we end up with a 4:3 ratio. So that's what we're going to do here. We're gonna maximize on that, and we're going to go input, input. Yes, input, input. So we're going to have these 4 machines grab some copper and some silicon to make microcrystalline components. We're going to have the microcrystalline components go directly into the corresponding machines making processors. We're going to bring our processors out. Yes, into there. And then I'm still going to need to bring circuit boards in. And that's a group of, well, 3 processor machines. And I need 24 processor machines. So, we're going to, actually, we're going to make sure I put sorters on these first. So your output, no, input, oh. Input, output. Okay, so we're going to do 3 of those. And then we're going to do 3 of those. And then we're going to do 4 of those. And we're going to cut that belt back because I need to bring copper into those guys, and I need to bring silicon into those guys. Put the sorters back on. So it's a group of 6. And then if I duplicate everything on the other side, which I don't know if I can do this. There to there. Paste. Maybe I can. Collide with other objects. Oh, really? Okay, it's too close to the other build. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to copy everything, paste, so I've got it in my hand, so to speak. We're going to remove everything, including that tower. And then I'm going to paste it, well, here I guess. Sure. Alright, so paste it back down. Copy again from there to there. Paste, rotate you twice. Line that up, although all my belts are going in the wrong direction, aren't they? I need you guys to have power. So I can actually see which way the sorters are going. So you're going output, you're going input, yeah. Okay, almost. I want to remove not facilities. Let's just remove those. Okay, so we need to bring it's the closest belt. So we're going to bring the closest belt in. Then we're going to bring copper to here. And yeah, these belts go in the wrong direction as well. Copper to there. And then silicon to here. And then that is going to be circuit boards in. So we want you to go input, output, drag down. I want you guys to have your sorters back. They're all in, so that should be fine. I need to have you go, so that's an input, that's an output. Drag those guys up there. Okay, so that is, oh hang on, let's throw in some power poles at the same time. And a power pole in that tile and in that tile. That should power up everything. Okay, so we have just counting the processor machines, because that's the number I'm looking for. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, and I need 24 total. So basically, we just need to double the length of the whole build, and it's probably going to be easier to just stretch the belts out rather than trying to get blueprints to line up with belts, because the devs still haven't given us a way to say, hey, look, I realize there's belts in the way, just paste it anyway, because, well, it needs that option. Alright, we're going to copy from there to... No, let's go cancel, cancel, reset blueprint. Okay, I want to copy from there to there, all sorters and everything else included. I want to remove the belts from the combination, and then pop that straight back in. Okay, so that's everything plugged in. That is the exact amount of materials we need, or the exact amount of buildings and everything we need. Remove. Okay. Except we don't have circuit boards, so we still need to work out where we're going to get circuit boards from. That. Okay, so. Alright, I need to get 2 lots of circuit boards in here and here. Oh, really? Okay. No, what I need to do is I need to copy from there to there and paste, and then go... Remove again, and then paste. There. Sure. That should be enough for him to move. Can you have all these walkers that are in my inventory? Thanks. Alright. So, with that done, yes, I need to get circuit boards. Now, circuit boards are going to be interesting. Can I get a... Really? Okay, fine. Copy. No belts. Can I just call you Tempy Temp? Because I don't want to lose this. And we'll give you that one. Save. Cool. I have a Tempy Temp blueprint. Remove everything except belts. Because I want to move everything over literally one tile to left. I want to put a power pole in there. And Tempy Temp. Yep, I'm so glad I saved it and I didn't have to rebuild it. Oh. Yeah, that power pole's not going to work. Yeah. Okay, without the power poles, we'll just put the power poles back in manually. I want to see under that tower. There. Okay. This thing with blueprints, like, you know, because I want to share them, I want to make sure that they're as good as I can get them. And if it means if we can shrink the whole build down by one tile, you bet we're going to shrink the whole build down by one tile. Okay. Everybody happy? Yeah. Okay. I want belts. Just belts, please. Those two, those 3, those 2, and those 2. Yep, one more tile. Okay. So, as I was saying, I need to have processors, okay? I need 4 processors to feed this half of the build, and I need 4 processors to feed this half of the build. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out a copper belt, a iron belt. We're going to come up to there. We're going to have you go up a tile, which should get us to there, and change that back to that, everything, and bring that belt back down to there. Cool. We're going to do the same on this side. We're going to bring you from there to there, up to there, remove one tile, bring you back down. Cool. Ooh, is that curve bigger than that curve? No. Okay. Alright. We need to bring in that side of the belt there, that side of the belt there. 1, 2, 3. That's an iron belt. Iron belt there. We're going to put in more assemblers. Can I grab... Oh, 400 assemblers. That'll do us. Okay, an assembler here. You, sir, are going to make circuit boards. Now, I'm going to go with input. Okay, I need you there, I need you there. I need, unfortunately, and I guess I should explain this. Okay, so we're going to have to split our copper line. So I need to put a splitter in here. Now, no, hang on, try that again. A splitter in there. Now, in the past, splitters had a larger footprint. They have made the footprint smaller. So as you can see, I could put my copper line straight up beside that, not an issue. But that only happens if the splitter goes in second. If the splitter goes in first, I can't put a belt there. So we're going to have these funny little kinks out for the iron belt because I prefer to be safe rather than sorry. We're going to run a copper belt to there. We're going to put a 2 sorters plus an output sorter. We're going to go 2 machines, 4 machines, 2 machines, 2 machines. We're going to chop off all the excess belts. That's that side tidied up. That's that side tidied up. We're going to drop a power pole, wrong power pole there, and a power pole there. And I'm going to declare this belt job complete. Yep, 100% complete. We need to put in shippies. I need to set that to maximum, that to minimum, that to maximum. Also need to put a power pole somewhere to join it into the rest of the power network. And that should be done. Now, what we're doing, we're making 8. We're making 12, okay? We have 4 machines running at a speed of 1.5 per second. So they're making... no, we have 4 machines. 4 machines that every single 1 second they make 2 processors, which is 8. 8? Crafting speed of... and then a crafting speed of 1.5, which means 12. So we're making 12 circuit boards. We're running our 12 circuit boards down in this little build here. This little build here will turn our 12 circuit boards into 6 processors, because we need 2 circuit boards for every 1 processor. So that's going to make 6 processors, run them up to here. This side is going to do the exact same, making another 6 processors, run them up to here, and everything should be fine and dandy if I get the sorters around the right way. None of your sorters are correct. Can I just... let's just remove the whole machine. It's quicker. Okay. Let's put you there without any sorters attached. Input, output. And this is why we build it. And we talk about it for just long enough to actually see it work. To confirm that Jetty hasn't boo-booed, but any sorters around the wrong way. Okay, we're going to remove those 2 belts that don't need to be there. Remove those 2 belts, they don't need to be there. And that there is going to be our tidy little build. Now, there's one thing I do want to mention. And it's one thing that I spent a lot of time thinking about this build. Okay, a lot of time before placing it, because I was really trying to get out at least 15 items per second, same as every other build. And I thought to myself, hang on, I've come out this far. I'm 1 tile short, 2 tiles short, of having this extra assembly machine on here. If I had 1 extra assembly machine, or I reconfigured this top part to, you know, distribute the build a little bit better, to get in at least one extra assembly machine, I'd actually have extra circuit boards being processed. If I had extra circuit boards being processed, I couldn't fit them in tower because I've only got 5 slots. 1 is warpers, 3 are inputs, 1 is an output. But I could put a second tower down here and receive any excess circuit boards that are being made. Okay, good idea, great idea, Jetty. I love it. Really good idea. But it means I have another tower. If I have another tower, I have another potentially 120 items per second I can import, which means I could duplicate the whole build. But if I duplicate the whole build, I still have that little bit extra. I could make. Those little few extra circuit board machines I could make to get a little bit more output. Because look, once this fills up, with processors, the circuit boards are doing nothing. And it won't be often, because circuit board processors are something that you tend to use a lot of. But occasionally there is a chance you might hit your quota for processors, and then the whole build's doing nothing. And really, I'd like to have that extra production go somewhere. So, after much thinking and much arguing with myself, I decided I'd have another shot at trying to produce a little bit more like a big boys version. A big boys version of this build, like twice as big. And also have dedicated circuit boards that came out. Actually, one thing we should be doing is we should be, before we go any further, I should be blueprinting this for you guys. We want to call this processes. We want to call this black box processors, copy paste, makes 12 processors per second from smelted materials. Done. Save. Okay, save. Because I'm getting sidetracked. I'm getting so sidetracked. So, what I want to do... that did save, didn't it? Yeah, black box process. Okay, I can put that... I can put both those in that folder after we're done. But what I want to do is I want to talk about other build. It's called New Blueprint. Because, you know, I didn't want to give it away. We're going to put that... there. Yes, I'm going to send all the drones off to work. I need belts. Can I grab 2,000 belts, please? Yeah, that should do me. For like 5 seconds. Do I have sorters in my inventory? No, that means I ran out. Can I just dump the weird stuff that I have in my inventory in there? Sorters? Sorters, 500. Cool. Alright, so let's talk through this build. Because, like I said, it's a big boys version of a build. It has 2 towers, it has one on either end. So we have this end. As I said, this end, much as I was hinting to with the last one, it's designed to do the receiving. Can I put... No, I can't put warpers in there. Okay. It's designed to receive the excess circuit boards. Okay. No, I want that one down, that one up. Okay. So, after the circuit boards are built here, they come sliding through this build, and eventually they pop in here. And there is a little bit of extra production at the far end to make a few extra processors, make a few extra circuit boards. So, if the processor build is going flat out, it's not going to cut off entirely the circuit board production. But, at the same time, we're bringing copper and we're bringing silicon, and they come out here and they're getting the microcrystalline builds going, which are also running the copper, the processors, and getting the processor build started. And I just need to trim some belts because they didn't quite get done. Cool. Alright, so we are also making processors. Processors, funnily enough, are coming back up here, and they're actually going this tower. So the items made on the left, made on the right, are going into the tower on the left. And the items that are coming from the tower on the left are going into the tower on the right. I know, a little bit confusing, but we've moved on. Okay, so what we have here is we have 2 belts. 2 belts of iron coming out. 2 belts of iron coming out are feeding processor builds, which means we are consuming 2 belts of iron to make 2 belts worth of processors. At the same time, we're consuming 1 belt of copper. So this is already producing 3 belts worth of iron and copper total coming out to make 2 belts worth of processors. 2 belts of processors are screaming. There we go, clean off some more belts. Screaming down here, and as I said, running all these builds. Now, we're making 30 processors per 30 circuit boards per second. I'll get there eventually, and we're consuming about 20 of them. I want to say. Hang on, I just need to refer to my math sheet. We're producing 30, and we're producing 60. And we're consuming 24 double. 48. So we're making 12 circuit boards per second, okay? Which are going to this tower. On top of that, the processors themselves, it is, funnily enough, twice the size, or twice the footprint of this build. So this build had 6, 12, 18, 24. This has 24 on the left, 24 on the right. So this one's actually producing, this one's doing 12 per second, this one's doing 24 per second. And we have 24 processes per second coming along. Like, the builds are very, very similar, coming along here and going in this tower. I think the only thing I would have liked to have changed is probably put this tower here somehow, just so it didn't physically end with a tower on either end. There was a bit of a gap between the tower and the next thing, although I don't think I could put a tower here because I think it would still be too close to that tower. Maybe. Anyway, this build is also going to be included in Jetty's Black Box builds because I'm sort of proud of this one. It took a while to spaghetti out. Oh, that was the other thing. The copper belts. As I said, there were 90 items per second coming out of this tower already, with these extra 2 copper belts actually coming down here and feeding half of this build and half of this build, because believe it or not, we're going through 1 belt's worth of copper plus, oh gosh, I don't have the maths in front of me anymore. No, it's 0.8 of a belt worth of copper down the middle, plus 0.8 and 0.8 silicon, plus 0.8 and 0.8 silicon, plus these 2 copper belts also make up a 0.4 and a 0.4 of a belt. I can't remember how much a 0.4 is. 12 items per second? I think. Yeah, now I'm second guessing. Alright, so, yes, this build. It is also included in Jetty's Black Box builds. I think I prefer this build more often than not, just because the extra circuit boards can actually be used. And on top of that, most of the times the circuit boards are actually used in processes. I did say, like, occasionally that they you know, you have excess production, excess circuit boards that need to go into, well, oil extractors and electromagnetic matrix, although our build we did over here produces its own internal circuit board, so we don't really strictly need to have, you know, excess circuit boards being flown over. Circuit boards also go into, well, you know, labs and oil refineries. They go into a lot of buildings, so you do need some sort of extra production. It's not a heap, don't get me wrong, it's really not a heap, but you do need something. So yeah, I made this build to have my something left over. In theory, like, if you want to just use black box builds all over your galaxy, you could pop down one of these, maybe 2 of these, to make sure you always have some free circuit boards to, you know, feed the hub over here. And then just stick to this build over and over and over and have it produce its own circuit boards to use internally inside its own builds. Anyway, I rambled for too long. Alright, with all that said, I'm going to call it here. We do not have enough time. We do nowhere near enough time to jump into particle broadband, because particle broadband is going to be a nightmare. The fact that carbon nanotubes is going to require 1 input, the crystal silicon is going to require a 2nd input, and then plastic is going to require, well, 2 inputs. So that's 4 items in, plus warpers, into a tower that only supports 5 items, and I need to get the particle broadband out. Or we can just convert it straight in the information matrix. Yeah, point made. Jetty's done. That's going to be calling it. That's going to be it for this episode. Next episode, yes, we will look at particle broadband, which also means technically we need to have some left over to make, yes, the assembly machine 3s. We need to have some particle broadband left over for those. I think that's the only thing it goes into, isn't it? Yes, yeah, assembly machine 3s. So we need to have some particle broadband left over to do assembly machine 3s, and the rest of it is going to go into the information matrix. But like I said, we'll be covering all of that in the very next episode. So with all that said, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. Enjoy the processor builds. As I said, they're all available on my Discord server in the Blueprints channel. And yeah, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Bye.